I just want one to see what moon cycle you're in right now. You are good enough. And see, this is going to piss me off because not you. The fact that you would think that you're not good enough because someone didn't appreciate your loyalty without you seeing that your ability to be loyal to something is the thing to be proud of. The way other people treat us is not a reflection of who we really are. It's a reflection of who they believe they are and how they feel about themselves. Because however people treat other people, that's how they feel about themselves. So if someone is avoidant, right, just an example, but let's say someone is avoidant, they never answer calls, and I'm not talking about someone protecting their peace or having boundaries. I'm talking about someone who like habitually and to the detriment of their personal life does not engage with the people in their life. They push people away because they're terrified of rejection, so they perpetuate it in one way or another, right? They let their responsibilities fall by the wayside. They're constantly, late on things, don't show up to things on time, blah, 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 blah. It's because they themselves, again, fear rejection to such an extent that they perpetuate it within themselves because they can handle rejecting themselves, which is what they're doing. It's not because everything they want to engage with they don't think has merit. It's because they think so little about themselves that they won't even engage with it and give that thing an opportunity to say no to them. It's sad. I'm not saying we should let avoiding people walk all over us, but understanding that like the way people are so stuck in their head, they get in their own way and they're so self-unaware. You are being activated to understand that, to not look at yourself as someone who shouldn't be dedicated to and shouldn't have dedication around you. You are the antithesis and you are the teacher of loyalty. That is such a rare and beautiful gift. And again, it's very rare. I'm not kidding. There are very few people. You're reminding me of someone who, when you're in a group of people and someone starts talking shit about someone, you don't let it fly. Even if you don't like the person they're talking about, you just don't like it. You think it's disrespectful. You have integrity. That's a very rare quality. If you tell someone you're going to go somewhere and do something, you do it. You're loyal to your word. You're loyal to your friends. Like that is a rare quality. Why would you think that you are not good enough when that's what you project out? That's your frequency? No, babe. Other people cannot meet you where you're at. Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off with that. Especially when I see that card, it makes me really feel like the person that I'm reading doesn't see themselves, and you need to see yourself. Watch the whole thing. Watch the whole reading. Please watch from the beginning, because the person who needs to hear this needs to hear the whole thing, right? Shoot. Just realized the noise cancellation wasn't on. So if the audio on that is really shitty, I'm sorry. Sorry. I want to see not how you are seeing yourself. I want to see how Source is seeing you. The heart. You're so heart-centered and you don't even know it. That's why you're angry too. Like being betrayed. People talk about betrayal all the time. But when you're a loyal person and you've never betrayed anybody, you do forget that you betray yourself constantly by putting your wants and needs last. And again, that's the true disconnection from self and the unresolved grief that's flaring its ugly head right now. But people don't understand what true betrayal is. Like, I'm hearing that one, I saw it in a video a long time ago. I'm sure someone took it from a tweet, but it was like, I understand what you're saying. You explained it perfectly. But if it had been me, I still would not have done what you did to me, to you, or whatever. And it's like that, ooh, the way that some people just, whatever. This collective, you'll get what I'm saying. They're trying to transform your energy right now, so that you can see this as a strength and not a hindrance. I want one of these too. The starfish. Yeah, that makes sense. Too worried about what other people think about you. But you are metamorphosing. I'm going to read you these two in just a second. The starfish worried way too much about outward appearances and also material goods. I don't think that you're a possessive person, but that can be the dark side to loyalty. And I think I said it right at the beginning. True loyalty is not loyalty to possessions and things, or maybe that was a personal I did the other day when I was talking about the true meaning of love. It's not possession. It's not attainment. It's just a feeling. It's a frequency. Starfish energy, you get wrapped up in the appearances of things and what other people think, that we forget how special that we truly are, which for this collective, again, I think you just need to hear that. But you are in a state of transition right now. So be gentle with yourself. Why was I just seeing someone sitting on a porch, like in a, maybe not a rocking chair, maybe I just imagined that part, but like sitting on a chair, like one of those really old, like wraparound porches. I love those. And like the sun was just shining ever so slightly. I don't know why that I just saw that too. I'm seeing some very specific things for this collective. So there has to be reasons, or maybe you'll see these things or come into these environments after hearing this reading, and that should be a confirmation from you. That happened to me not that long ago. I did a reading for someone, and then like a few months later, they were like, that thing that you saw in the reading, look, and they sent me a picture, and it was very, from what they said, I didn't remember what I saw, but from what they remembered from the reading, they're like, it's exactly like you explained. So it's always important, whatever I say. You're in a state of transition right now. And again, there's a divine intervention moment on its way. I think you could subvert your divine intervention moment if you start to truly see yourself and understand that you need to move through this transition with a connection to self, a connection to source, and remembering who you truly are. One more. The Phoenix! Shut up. That's why. Look at all this movement in your energy. Like, you're going through a Phoenix right now. I call that the prescribed burden of the soul, because you literally have to burn out the impurities until there's no more fuel to burn. It's incredibly painful. With the divine intervention moment, friend, this is intense energy, but I have to double down. The source, creator, whatever, whoever, wherever, doesn't give this to people for no reason. Not when I read them. I think some things do happen for no reason. I think horrible things happen in this world all the time, and there's not a divine or spiritual or religious meaning for it. But when I read someone, I don't say that this is happening for a reason very lightly. It's not because it's a blanket statement I apply to everything. I just want you to understand that. So the Phoenix represents transformation. Look at these two cards of transformation. That's very rare for these two to come out together. Very rare. It doesn't mean running from denying or burning bridges with rage. Look at the way this lines up, bestie. The Phoenix employs an advanced technique described in yoga as the burning of impurities through the practice and dedication. The essence of the Phoenix is with us when we realize we've been suffering for too long and something must change. We take a stand and decide to live consciously instead of being driven by unconscious mind and its long list of fears and aversions. At this very moment, the spark of the Phoenix is lit, and that great bird helps us burn through our baggage. We no longer run from who we are, what has happened to us, or what we have done. The stuckness and dead weight fall into the ashes, and lightness and clarity emerge. As the stagnancy continues to smolder, the Phoenix lifts our spirits up and up, and we begin to recognize ourselves again. We may catch a glimmer in our eye that wasn't there before. Look closely. It's a sign of the fire of transformation upon your wings. Sorry, I wanted to get the book for your archetypes. So there's everything from this reading is so relevant. I mean, all my readings are like this, but for this collective to watch the whole thing, because every single deck is linking together in a very specific way to burn out this and use it for good so that you can fix this true connection with self, disconnection with self, and this unresolved grief that's blocking your solar plexus. And like also all the colors are lining. Just please watch the whole thing if it's really for you. What they're trying to ignite within this collective is such a powerful transformation of self that will carry you for the rest of your life to find center and wholeness, because they're also activating the heart archetype, which is the home in the center. So this card talks all about like how the heart is not just a physical thing, but it's a place and it's a feeling and it's all the things that we know love and heart-centered things to be. But it says, the seat of the heart is often reclaimed by nature, music, dance, and the presence of children or animals. This card encourages us to move past the layers of life, tangles and knots, and enter the wild and sacred center of the self. The most precious throne in the galaxy is awaiting your return. So this is the story of trauma. Even if you had a great childhood and you didn't have any childhood trauma, which like lucky you, congratulations. And you incurred trauma later in life. I don't think there's any soul walking this planet that has no trauma. in some way, shape, or form from some sort of situation. You, at some point, your soul knows center. And that's why people who are in long suffering, people who just grin and bear it, people who just don't ever confront their trauma, it doesn't go anywhere. It kills them. Stress kills us. We know this, right? Chronic fatigue, stress, it debilitates our body. It creates ailments. It creates disabilities. Like, a lot of people are disabled for reasons that are not related to chronic stress. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes people bring this upon themselves. Not that I'm disabled, so there's nothing wrong with being disabled. I'm just trying to say, like, it's an emotional scar that has deep physical, noticeable, imageable wounds. And it's because our soul actually does, in my opinion, no peace, no comfort, no center, and no balance. So why would it settle in situations that are not inherently those things? This card is saying they're trying to bring you back to that center. Whether it was in this life or a life before, your soul knows center and knows peace, and you are a heart-centered person. Let's be real. You cannot be loyal if you do not understand what lies at the center of your heart and what you truly care about and what you think loyalty deserves to be surrounded by, which is love. It's going to be love-based. This says, when in light, sacred, the sacred within, when in darkness, withdrawals, isolation, and hiding. And how are you supposed to heal if you're not in situations that trigger this? Which is, again, why I think I went into that thing about you thinking about masculine energy and closing yourself off from the idea that blanket statement, all these things are bad. Which, again, I'm never going to tell another person, femme-bodied or otherwise, to not hate all men. But what I will say is you are still centering them. Because the opposite of love is indifference, not hate. Hate is still an emotion, and it's still a feeling, and it's still a frequency. You can hate them all day long, but you're still centering them in some way, shape, or form. Indifference is letting go, and it's surrender, and it's peace. I'm not saying I've done this 100%, but I have been the person who's literally hated every single man, random people on the street, just because of the way that they present. Just because of the way I interpret their gender. And it did me no good. If people are saying it's doing them good, then I support you in doing that. And there is no judgment. But for this collective, it's clearly a block. It's clearly a block that's disconnecting you from yourself because of the way you've been treated in the past, right? And I want you to get out of that because you have bigger shit going on that's far more important for your soul, for the environment, for your planet, for your people, for your community, for your friends, for the people that you love. So much bigger than the rage and the anger and the distrust and the hatred that you're holding on to. You cannot bring new in when you're holding on to that frequency. You get what I'm saying? And if you are going to hold on to it, at least alchemize it into something like this. Like, all right, masculine energy has ruined my life, X, Y, and Z, and this is what I'm going to do about it, right? Productive, but that's not what your energy is saying. In the nicest way. Your energy is saying that it's a block. If it was an actual tool, your cards would have said it. You know what I mean? But the tears are droplets of letting go, mourning, releasing, and you've got unresolved grief. Release. Tears are what are needed in order for a conversation or situation to break into the next level of intimacy and vulnerability. Some say that tears are so powerful in softening our egos that they open up to a portal to the unseen world. Through our watery eyes, and ancestors catch a glimpse of us, and we are reminded of their internal embrace. We sense our humanity, our humility, and we allow ourselves to be held. It is likely this card appears when there's grieving yet to do. Look how perfectly it lines up. A sinking down into disappointment or despair that, once acknowledged, will bring a shimmer of clarity to our dewy eyes. And what did I say at the very beginning of this? In order for us to move through things, we have to take responsibility. We have to recognize things for the way that they are, and then we have to feel it. I know a lot of people struggle with different parts of the grief cycle. Actually, lots of people struggle feeling this. Did you know that? I know so many people, even in my personal life, who struggle to feel anger. You have the gift of already knowing how to feel it, because it gets triggered when it takes you out of this, right? So you probably struggle more, this collective specifically, with feeling the pain of this tear, the mourning card. It all lines up for the right collective. You need to release the pain by taking responsibility for the way that you stayed, the way that you accepted it, even though you're a loyal person, and then letting it go and stop putting a blanket label on this energy because it's holding you back, right? Everything I said. Just watch the whole thing. Okay, so I want to see. We could just jump in and see what comes next. What do we think about that? Let's just do that. Let me just get summarily organized ever so slightly. Okay. Actually, hold on. One card about your karma that you're trying to break through right now. I mean, we can see what it is, but I just want to confirm it. So, my timer. All right, so source this collective, their karma, karmic chains. What are they trying to break? Because you got that omen card. Let go of judgment. Oh. Step beyond your comfort and shape your future. You are the creator of your future. Make choices that reflect your highest self. Highest self. There's a total difference between having an emotion and feeling it and letting it work through your body and holding on to it. I saw someone, I don't know if this is true, but it's just what's coming to my mind. I saw someone say that an emotion doesn't last, like it only lasts maybe a couple minutes if you actually do feel it. And then the feeling of the emotion is the processing of it. So if you're still constantly ruminating in your mind, it's because it's not making the connection into your body. That's not your higher self. That's your overthinking mind, your me computer, which is trying to make sense of a situation that just needs to be felt and moved from, right? But growth only happens outside the comfort zone. Embrace discomfort as a sign of progress, especially that like tangent I went in on this. If you're thinking about going out and meeting someone new, but you're like, no, all men suck, blah, blah, blah. Step outside of your comfort zone. Because if you telling yourself that all blank suck, you can fill in the blank with literally anything. Then that's what you're going to encounter. That's because what we believe is what our reality is. Doesn't matter if to anybody else it's confirmed. If we see with our eyeballs and then in our brain interpret information in a specific way, then that's our reality. So you saying all X sucks or this energy sucks or everybody is like this, that's what you're going to see. The only way to change that is to get out in the world and step beyond your comfort zone. Give people in situations the benefit of the doubt and trust that you will walk away and not be overly loyal when you are given very clear signs that someone is not loyal or doesn't share your values or doesn't align with you. Like, you got to trust yourself. You can't just be loyal for the sake of being loyal. Do you get what I'm saying? It's a superpower, but only if you use it correctly. You got to step out of your comfort zone. And I know it can be really, really terrifying. Trust me. I know it can be terrifying to trust in, especially in a romantic situation, if you've been hurt in the past. But I promise you, there are good people out there. All gender presentations, all walks of life. There are incredible people out there. And once you open up to that frequency, you do find your people. But you got to step in your comfort. The amount of times I've been uncomfortable in a space in the search of my people, like years ago before I found them, like crawling out of my skin, wanting to throw up and cry and just like, you have to get used to that feeling. Because otherwise, sitting in what you're sitting in and doing nothing, being self-aware, only gets you so far. You're intellectualizing it, right? And I don't mean to be like, like you're not doing anything wrong. I just think there would be a reason that I'm being so forthright with this collective. I think it's because you can handle it. I think it's because you can handle it and you just need to hear it. But let go of judgment. This is the one. This is the one that's holding you back the most. Judging others only keeps you stuck in the past. Embrace compassion and release judgment. Release judgment. You know what's even more discouraging than seeing certain types of people perpetuate a pattern? Like, let's just say it's male-bodied people who identify as male. The only thing that's more disappointing than watching those people perpetuate patriarchy is constantly telling ourselves that that's the way it's only going to be. And every single one of them is like that. And blah, blah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even want to say it's rare because I haven't met every single person on the planet, but there are some male-bodied people in my life that are genuinely good people that when they say or do something sexist, patriarchal, or oppressive, hear me, take exactly the steps that they need to take to change that behavior permanently, make amends, like you know what I'm saying? Like, and nobody is above reproach. Femme-bodied people can embody the same sort of behaviors that male-bodied people, male-identifying people can, like, it's a behavior thing, right? Just try to wrap your mind around the larger picture and not be so confined to labels that make it easy for you to judge, because it's clearly a part of your karmic ties or karmic chains to fix that. How are you supposed to be unconditionally loving and activate your soul and fight for people you love and be loyal to the right causes and open up your heart space and have confidence if you're constantly judging? Because you're doing it to yourself too, right? What we project out is what we call in. You're going to call in this lesson to get you to stop judging yourself and others until you learn it. You're too special of a collective to just perpetuate that pattern. So stop. Knock it off. All right, let's just jump in and see like what you need to be aware of with what comes next. And we'll do that in tandem with these affirmation cards, which have that butterfly on it, which you got the butterfly in the other part. Just watch the whole thing. But all right, so let's just see. I heard end of June. That's kind of we'll see if timing cards come out in this, but that's just what I heard when I was trying to lock into what comes next for you. So we'll just see. That's nice. So 7 of Cups again. It's hard to be in 7 of Cups, because what comes after 7 of Cups is 8 of Cups. And in my opinion, top 3, one of the hardest cards, because that means walking away from things you don't want to walk away from, but you know that you have to in order for your soul's growth. You could stay in the situation with 8 of Cups. I'm just trying to explain it to you, because I think this is what comes next for you. Just seeing that. You can stay in an 8 of Cups life. You can stay in things that are hollow and shallow and selfish and blah, 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 because they're materially not that bad. But your soul cries out for more, right? That's when you get those divine intervention moments, blah, blah, blah. But it's so hard to walk away from things you don't want to walk away from. It's so much harder than being forced to, which you've got divine intervention in your timeline, so we'll just see how that plays out. The clarity of thought is going to be the most important thing here, because you had it in your tarot in the beginning, now you've got it again. The focused, clear action, seeing clearly. It comes from your thirst of knowledge. Seeing through the facade, gathering more information. His special interest is knowledge. I see Sherlock Holmes when I see him. Or someone just like studying in a library. Like he's naturally incredibly curious. He does it for the love of the game, but he's also very vigilant and guarded. And that's his only detriment, but he's a sword, so he comes from intellect. And we know from your entire reading that being stuck in your mind is actually blocking a lot of your emotional release. So this moon upright, you thought you're in moon in reverse. Universe is saying you still have to work through some of this moon energy, blocked intuition, misconceptions, uncertainty, deception, ambiguity, instability, dreams, anxiety, and illusions. We don't know when we're in moon energy. That's one of the hardest things about it, is because we think we're seeing things clearly. Think about seeing things under a full moon, like the harvest moon. We think we're seeing things clearly. The moonlight can be so bright, but when the sun comes out and truly illuminates things, that's when we start to see the finer details and things actually become illuminated. So in your thirst for knowledge, you're going to start to realize that your intuitions have been blocked, probably for a while, that the uncertainty that you're feeling is a disconnection from self. Not from external. It's from you not trusting yourself. Because let's be real, if loyalty, again, is one of your core values, and people are not loyal to you, they wouldn't have to show you they're disloyal. You could feel it if you were really in touch with your intuition. But instead of trusting yourself and walking away, you would wait and let them show you time after time after time how they're not loyal to you. It can be something so small as, like, it doesn't have to be these big backstab moments. Like, disloyalty can show up in all kinds of different ways if that's one of your triggers. I'm not even going to get into any examples because it really doesn't matter. The right collective will know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you need to start identifying where in which you are literally ignoring your intuition and perpetuating that pattern of pain, which just makes you angry. The universe that is putting temperance over this. So they're trying to give you this perfect balance between yin and yang, opposites uniting, harmony, tranquility, peacefulness, but alchemizing this energy, understanding that your attachments are unhealthy. That's what they're trying to alchemize right now. to show you that the rescuing and the enabling and the clinging and the seeking approval comes from your codependency. Those other blocks that you have, I mean, it all kind of leads back to that unhealthy attachment that you have with things, but then you're going to have a Seven of Cups. This is going to be hard. But the sooner that you become aware of it, the sooner you can quit the pattern of behavior, and you can, like, you're already in the Phoenix energy. You're already in divine intervention. There's already things set in motion. It's kind of out of your hands at this point. Just remember to learn the lesson through all this. Let's get one more for this moon. Good things take time. It's going to take time. If you persevere and you dedicate to yourself, you are loyal to yourself, then the fruits from this harvest, from this investment, this patience, it's going to pay off. But you have to put in the work. You have to want to change. You don't want to change, don't do any of it. Don't do any of it. Keep doing what you're doing. Come back in 6 months. Tell me how that worked out. I'm not trying to say this as from like a judgmental place, but sometimes I want to get them to realize, like, you can keep doing what you're doing. Nobody is stopping you. But if you want better, you have to do better. You have to change. Change comes from us. We can't just wait for change. I mean, for this collective, again, you've got divine intervention, so there will be change enacted. But the rest of it is up to you. They can only meet you halfway. What's this? Two of Cups in reverse. The Devil again. So that's where the strings attached come from. That's where your shadow self is. That's where the obsession and the restrictions. So you are seeing it, right? But instead of trying to just recognize it and move through it, again, you're trying to elevate yourself at the expense of somebody else by putting a label on it and saying this is toxic, blah, 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 blah. But you chose to say. You're going to have to get to that place of admitting that to yourself before any of this changes, before you have that Seven of Cups. And it doesn't make you a bad person. Again, devil energy is really beautiful once you lock in. Once you lock into self and realize that you are no longer going to let things grip you and you don't want strings attached, that's when it frees you. That's one of the most freeing energies. Self-determination, self-freedom. You should look into the Satanic Temple. I've been a member for a long time, but their tenement, the structure, like, beautiful, beautiful way to live your life of self-determination and bodily autonomy. Like, maybe look into it. Just saying. Came to my mind. I want one more for that. Because the way you're focusing in your tarot, I think you've got the right framework. Again, it's just the details that need to tweak and the underlying message. Knight of Swords. Upright. Seizing the day. So he can be in focus. What am I saying? He can be focused and he can be very like a go-getter, but he's very impulsive and he's the quickest moving knight. So rapid high, rapid low. Comes in real quick, makes a fucking mess, and dips on out, right? He's the cavalry. And this is about being impatient. That's going to also be a part of your shadow side. You're probably a high achiever. I get it. You're loyal, but this impatience, it's going to be a part of the things that grip you here. This is going to take time. And if it's with a specific person and you cannot grow, change, and heal with another person because they're not also healing and changing, another conversation you need to have with yourself and make a decision. A relationship that's got really core key elements of codependency, both people need to heal independently, and they can sometimes help each other. But the blind is leading the blind on that one, and usually it's one partner trying to get better and the other not. You have to make those decisions. Do you want to have patience and work towards yourself and make decisions that are hard? Or do you want to be impatient and try to do quick fixes, right? Little tweaks. It's not going to work here. Universe is saying it. What's the Seven of Cups? Oh, look at that. 9 of Coins. This time it's upright with Lovers in reverse, misaligned values. You guys don't align. And it's not just, obviously it's some sort of romantic relationship here, which I didn't pick up at all in your tarot in the beginning or throughout the entire message, which could be a message in it of itself, like in the nicest way. In your energy, there's no union, marriage, love energy. It's more about you seeing yourself. Whatever's going on with this whole reading in your energy, it's the trust issues, the disconnect, it's imbalanced. You guys don't align. And this, once you have clear action over that, This is a card of singlehood, independence, the nines. Again, self-abundance, status, self-sufficiency, sophistication, on your own, taking it easy, fulfillment and freedom, maturity, maturing, and realizing you don't need to align with people who don't align with you. You won't die. Everything will be fine. Nine of coins with seven of cups in reverse. That's good. It's not going to feel great, but it's the right path. All right. Just projected outcomes. Page of Wands, being an energetic powerhouse. He's also the inventor. That's a special interest, is new things, right? He's very lovable. He's very enthusiastic. I also see him as kind of the rogue traveler. Like, he's that friend that's like, want to go to Thailand for a week? Like, he's just very spontaneous and fun and lighthearted, and he loves culture and people and experiences. He's a free thinker. And that's what the universe is trying to tell you. You already are. You already are this. This igniting within you with Nine of Coins. I love that for you. Because that's like a really fun, sometimes painful, but enriching experience and life. I want one more. From a place of imbalance, from a place of inauthentic relationships and false senses of security, you're coming out as an energetic powerhouse. It's not going to feel great, but in the long run, it will be great. It will be. I just want one of those. So I am blossoming patiently and perfectly into sacred fruition. Look at that. You need to write this on your mirrors, have it as a background on your phone. You need to be saying this to yourself every time you get impatient. Every time. Take a screenshot, write it down, say it to yourself. Fulfillment assured. I am blossoming patiently and perfectly into sacred fruition. Don't try to rush it. One more. Feeling deep truth. Intuitive wisdom guides me from within. The presence of love pervades all facets of my life. The love you have for yourself. The love you have for Path, for all the other things in your life outside of romantic union, romantic relationships. I think about this a lot because obviously, my soul's been around for centuries and centuries, but my meat computer memory obviously doesn't remember a time outside of my generation, which, like, I'm in my 30s. So I don't know if it's a product of, like, women's liberation, the way dating is structured, and like the shifts we're seeing, and like all the different dynamics changing. And like, I know how it was for my parents because they tell me, and like, older folks are reading about history. Like, I get it that the dynamics in relationships are radically changing in much, much faster ways than they have throughout all of history, right? And I think it's probably a remnant of the past that so many people hold such intrinsic value on relationships, like romantic relationships, because in the past it was security. It still is today, don't get me wrong, but security and, the drive to reproduce, which, like, don't even get me started on that. But like, it's just different now, and I get it. I get that a lot of people were told from the time we were tiny, tiny, tiny to go to school, get a job, work, have kids till you die, like, increase shareholder value. But that's not the true meaning of life. And I think all of our souls know that. When you're finally awakened to that truth and you can live authentically, it is hard to break free from all of these strings and attachments that grip us, that bring up our shadow side, that make us feel like we're stuck and bound to all these different, but like, look at the energy around this. The unhealthy, imbalanced discord is what grips so many people. And I think if more people realize that, like, romantic relationships are not the end all be all, they shouldn't even be the starting point to happiness. They are toppings on the cake of life. They are extra. They are not a right. They are not a requirement for life. Romantic relationships. Love is one of the things humans need to thrive, community, connection, but a singular relationship, and people always attach one face to it and they get so attached to just one person. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to judge because I've been here, but it's like, when things don't work out, you have to move on. Otherwise, it just is going to grip you. And it is not, in the grand scheme of things, the most important thing in life. Nobody gets to be born with another person attached to them, and nobody gets to die with another person attached to them. Like, it is not the end all be all. You have to be secure within yourself. So many people miss this lesson and spend their whole life chasing fulfillment in another person. And it really, really breaks my heart. This collective, you're at such a pivotal moment in your life where you could break free from that. And not in an elitist, you're better than anybody, you're so much stronger and more spiritually wise, but just in a fulfillment way for yourself to find peace and comfort and tranquility and solace and connection. Like, balance, alchemizing, all of this for balance and peace. And then whatever this soul activation is, because this is genuinely supposed to make the world a better place on a small or a large scale. Like, there's so much more here. Let go of what doesn't serve you and walk towards the things that do. Otherwise, that divine intervention moment, again, it's on your timeline. And if it has already hit, or if it's about to and there's nothing you can do about it, let the wave hit you. Let it hit you. It's supposed to purify the situation, to remove what doesn't serve you, to connect you to your power and the source and whatever else, right? Just please see it for the lesson that it is, and honor your pain, but don't use it as a cornerstone for your identity. All right. So, angel of logic and perseverance. Bingo. Responsibility, development, precision, work, harvest, order, intellect, and details. I help you reap the harvest of your full potential through a deliberate process of development. This is the angel that's bringing that divine intervention moment for you. Number 37, Hamaliel. I don't know. I'm sure these come from some sort of specific religion, but I like these cards because they often have iconography that people connect to. I hope you, I just read that. There's a reason why I was about to read it again though. Reap the harvest. And you had that 7 of coins. It's going to take a minute. Don't give up. Peridot, August. That's an even more solid August. It's not that far away, guys. Boom. You blink an eye and 5 years goes by. I still think 2020 was last year. Like, do you get what I'm saying? August is nothing. Blink and it's gone. You are ready. You're ready for this transition. Unconditional love. Understanding what true love really is. Like, unconditional love. Not everyone who loves you is perfect, but unconditional love they give you is sometimes. Your angels want you to focus on the unconditional loving bonds of family. If family is something you don't have, they want you to create it. Who have you taken for granted that you can connect with today? So that just tells me that while you've been focusing on whatever that 2 of Cups of reverse energy on is, you've let all your other relationships fall by the wayside. And it's very, very common, no judgment, but don't do that. You can't ghost and, avoid everybody else in your life at the expense of a romantic connection. That is a first indicator that a relationship is not healthy, when everything else in your life falls away. Bar none. If you skip even one hangout with a friend to hang out with, then that means you hold romantic love higher than established connection. See that red flag for what it is. Reach out to a family member or cherished friend on the phone, send them a card, and pay them a visit. Good luck. Make your own fortune in life. And I always say good luck at the end of my readings, but because words are spells, and I genuinely do wish actual luck on the people that I read. You've been working hard in life. Sometimes it's necessary to expect good things to come out of that. Not just more hard work. Your angels want to send you a lucky break, big opportunity, or moment of respite, but you have to believe it's coming. Visualize what you want so badly. Remember what I was saying? What we see is our reality. You're just going to keep calling in the same emotional turmoil if that's all you're expecting. You literally have luck around the corner. They want to give you something. They want to give you some sort of blessing, right? And Jupiter is hanging out with Cancer, and that's typically a very lucky. Maybe look at where Jupiter is in your chart and start working with that energy. But visualize what you want so badly, even if it's frightening to admit what it is. Sit and ponder what life will look like when, not if, but when you get it. Reframe your thoughts. I'm a big fan of people using the way that they speak to manifest things into their life. Like, instead of saying, oh, I'm really bad at this, like, oh, I'm working on this and I'll get better at this. Get what I'm saying? Okay, good luck.